Hey there, happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day if you're in the USA. So today I'm going to be doing 2 readings from 2 different books to wrap up the August 30-day reading series that I was doing. And of course, this is another day where, some of the readings are going to be combined together. 2 books I have for you today we're going to do Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham Hicks. And then also Soul Love by Sanaya Roman. And I am excited. So let's go ahead and I had an announcement, and the announcement's, what is the announcement? I think the announcement was simply that I wanted to make sure you know that if you were looking for a positive, uplifting, supportive space to be, then the Every Day is a New Day show, which is my podcast / live show, is being switched up a little bit. And so we have our first episode in the new format happening this Wednesday morning, Pacific time. And if you want to join, you are more than welcome to join. It's, of course, totally free to join, but this is going to be a show that is done live over on Zoom, and you simply just need to register for it. So actually, that's what took me a moment before I started here, because I was like, oh, I need the link for you all. Let me say this first, that I'm going to get into the reading, but if you're interested in that, because this Wednesday, our guest is Joel Salomon, and he's going to be talking about creating money, attracting money, law of attraction, that kind of thing, all surrounding money. And it's also the same day as his second book launch. So if you want to find out more about that, click the link down below for the Every Day is a New Day group, and there will be information on Wednesday's episode if you want to check that out. And that's this Wednesday, September 4th at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. And that's just for this Wednesday's show. Other shows will be at later times. Okay, let's get into today's reading. So first book I'm going to start with is Ask and It Is Given. And when I randomly opened up today, I opened up to pages 62 and 63. And I'm actually going to read a little excerpt from each side here because they're just really good. So, okay, so the first section on page 62 is talking about moods as indicators of your emotional set points. And go ahead and let me know if you are familiar with law of attraction, or if you're just learning about this and maybe loving the information. Let me know what your background is, because because you may be hearing this differently depending on where you're coming at it from. So emotional set points. Here we go. When you continue to focus upon any thought, it becomes increasingly easy to continue to focus upon it, because the law of attraction is making more thoughts like it available to you. And so, emotionally speaking, you are developing a mood or an attitude. Vibrationally speaking, you are achieving a habitual vibrational groove, so to speak, or a set point. Your mood is showing you a good representation of what you are inviting into your experience. Your mood or general feeling about something is a clear indication of your practiced vibration. In other words, whenever any subject is activated within you through your exposure to your environment, your vibration jumps immediately to your most practiced vibrational place or set point. So that's the first part about emotional set points I want to talk about. Then we're going to move over to page 63, and in the section talking about your emotional set points can be changed. Hey, Gabby, good to see you again. Okay, so talking all about emotional set points. In the same way that your emotional set points can change from feeling basically good or secure to feeling bad or insecure, your set points can change from not feeling good to feeling good. For your set points are achieved simply by attention to a subject and through your practiced thought. However, most people do not deliberately offer thought, but instead they let their thoughts gravitate to whatever is happening around them. Something happens, they observe, they have an emotional feeling response to whatever they are observing, and since they usually feel powerless in controlling what they are observing, they conclude that they have no control over their emotional response to what they are observing. We want you to understand that you do have absolute control over the set points that you achieve, and we want you to understand the extreme value in deliberately achieving your own set points, because once you expect something, it will come. The details of it may play out differently, but the vibrational essence will always be an exact match. Hey, Lillian, good to see you too. So I want to share that because I think it's a good reminder for us all. It can be easy to not realize that we aren't being deliberate in our thoughts or our emotional set point and what we're attracting. And so that's why I think it's good to, have reminders like this. And just to know that anytime it's basically saying that, anytime we're experiencing something, observing something that we don't want to observe, sure enough, yes, our emotional set point will bring us to whatever the most practiced thought we have on that type of subject, whatever it is we're observing, right? And that's what may come to us automatically, but we have a choice in that moment to say, oh, wait, okay, this doesn't actually feel good. What would be a better feeling thought to choose about this situation? And just start to stretch yourself, start to see, what other thoughts could I have? Even if, say, you're thinking, gosh, I can't imagine there being any other thought, right? Like, knock on wood, God forbid. Let's say, there's a major car crash right in front of you. And it's, very jarring, very shocking, very upsetting, unpleasant. You may have feelings that mirror that. And you're thinking, I can't imagine having any other reaction other than feeling, oh, how awful, this is horrible. Oh my gosh, I wonder what happened. I wonder how awful. That all makes total sense. And yet, if you can't come up with any other thought to have about it, so that you can continue to either switch your vibrational set point or maintain a certain level, you could always choose to have some form of a neutral thought and say, okay, in this moment, I've just observed something that is not very pleasant, but I'm gonna choose to remain neutral about this. And I wish them health and healing and wellness or whatever, something of that kind. Do you see what I'm talking about? So it's not jumping to an extreme of thinking and automatically going to like the worst possible conclusion of what may be happening as a result of that car crash. But nevertheless, it's something that just reminds you that you have the ability to choose what thoughts you have about the situation and can help you to remain in a neutral state. And you can even in that moment, I love your thoughts coming through. I'm going to get to those in just a second. Even in that moment, you can choose to say, I'm open to receiving additional thoughts about a situation such as this, or any scenario you might observe that, triggers a reaction in you. So again, totally understood if we, we're going to go to whatever thought we've had, in the past about a situation like that. But to remember that in that moment, you actually have the ability to switch it and start to shift to a more better feeling, higher vibrational thought about it. So wait, what are you saying? So Gabby says, speaking of this topic, in addition to self-loving practices, is it best for me to work on manifesting my ex-partner, soulmate, back into my life? Or should I simply expect him to contact me soon? And this likely applies to other relationships as well. So Gabby, I think you might be asking for a card reading there, but I will also just say, let me read your question again really quick. So I will pull you. Let me know if you want me to pull you a card. I'm going to speak to this first, just without the cards, and just say what I really think is best, especially if you're in a breakup state. The best thing you can do are the self-loving practices. Even if you and he end up coming back together, you want to be in your best, most high vibrational state to begin with. And if he's meant to be in your life, if he's meant to come back and you two, be a couple again, then you would want it to be from you being in a state of being your most high vibrational state possible. Otherwise, if you are in a space of, the sadness and the longing and the maybe even a sense of, and we all have these experiences, even a sense of, oh my gosh, I need him. I don't know if that's what you're experiencing, but if there's any of that, then that means he would need to be a match to that. And therefore you both would be coming from a needy state, a needy emotional set point. And that's not going to be your most healthiest vibration for either of you. because that then is going to be more of a codependent relationship. And so, that phrase, to become one, or, you complete me, right? Like, he's my other half, he's my better half, whatever. I personally, I have a completely different take on that these days. So Gabby, I really think that it's best to be, you want to be as whole as you can possibly be. So two wholes coming together, making, awesomeness. So that's my thought on that, which really just brings it right back to the self-love, so that you can be in your best, most highest vibration. And then that's your emotional set point, and you're attracting from that place, right? And so then, and you may at that point then see, gosh, he's not a match for me, or he may choose to rise up to that and become a match for you. So I hope that's helpful. You'd love a card reading, but I'm so glad to hear you. Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm glad. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to first pull cards for the reading, and then what I'm going to do is I'll pull a card for you after. So let's see here. I'm just going to leave that open. Let's go ahead and first pull an Abraham Hicks card. That was a great question, by the way. That was really good for the topic, what we just read. Okay, so what is the message that wants to come through for everybody who is watching today's video? Okay. We got, it is not my work to control others. And the back says, trying to limit anybody about anything defies the laws of the universe. It cannot be done. You cannot control others, but you can control and create your own reality. And I think this is really key. And Gabby, I'm not saying this applies to your situation, but this is just coming up because I know this can happen in situations of breakups and things like that, is that when we are upset about someone, in our lives who's doing something other than what we would choose for them to do, and maybe it's impacting our relationship to the point where we are no longer in any sort of relationship, or maybe you are, and there just is added friction or something. This always, always, always remains true. So, speaking to anybody who, who's broken up and wanting to get back with their partner, you would actually be doing yourself a disservice. Again, I'm speaking to just anybody in general. You would actually be doing yourself a disservice by trying to control or manipulate the other person in any way whatsoever to try and come back to you. I was really surprised the other day. I actually saw a YouTube video, that was titled something like, how to put a spell on your ex to get him back. And I just thought, oh my gosh, like, I totally get the heartbreak and the sadness and the agony, could potentially go to that great length, right? When you break up with someone, and if you're devastated by it, and by all means, if there's, communication that takes place between you two as you're trying to fix things out and work and, and figure out what's happening and all of that all makes sense. But when you go beyond that and try to do, anything that would fall under the category of controlling or manipulating, what you're essentially doing is trying to infringe on that person's free will. And that's, you would think of it as like the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would want done unto you. We would never, ever want someone to try and control and manipulate us. And so that is just, it's kind of like one of those boundary lines, right? And if you're factoring in that, that everything's energy and all this stuff, just like, I just say, don't go there. Don't go there. You don't want that backfiring on you, whether it happened immediately or somewhere down the line. Anyway, so, okay, sorry, that was just coming up, and I just really wanted to share that. And I've had an experience like that. So that's also why I wanted to speak to that. So let me see what other card wants to come through for this reading. You know what? I think we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and pull one card for you, Gabby, and then we're going to move into the second reading. Let's see here. I think, you know what, Gabby? I am thinking, I'm going to pull an angel card, Gabby. So pulling an angel card. Let me see what else you wrote. Some time has now entered my mind. Yeah, very possible. Very possible. I think that's pretty common when you've got, you know, two people who are both experiencing something and, you know, maybe sort of telepathically picking up each other's vibrations or thoughts and all of that. And, you know, the next book I'm going to read is actually a fantastic book that you might want to check out, Gabby. So let me go ahead and pull you an angel card first, and then we'll get into that. Just do a little shuffling. Okay, what message wants to come through for Gabby? What message wants to come through for Gabby today? What message wants to come through for Gabby? Okay. Gabby, oh my gosh, this is the card. Okay, Gabby, I'm pretty certain it was you. The other day when you were on here and there was a card that fell down on the ground and I was like trying to describe it based on my memory because it was face down. This is that same card. I'm pretty certain this was you. Fresh air. I'm floored. Okay, so the card says, your body needs refreshment from oxygenated air generated by grass, trees, plants, and flowers. Spend time outside today, as near to Mother Nature's cradle as possible. Open your curtains and windows to refresh your home as well. I'm going to go ahead and read the extended message on this as well. Yeah, seriously, Gabby, I know, right? I know. That's what I thought. Okay, okay, fresh air. Yeah, this is why I love this. I love the synchronicities. Whoa. Okay, so, the angels, fresh air. The angels sent this card to you because you need some fresh air. You've been indoors far too long and your body and soul crave oxygen. Open the windows in your home and office to air them out, then go outside and breathe deeply. If you live in the city, make an escape to the country as soon as possible to breathe some much-needed fresh air. Keep plenty of live plants in your home and office to ensure the steady circulation of oxygen. Additional meanings for this card are exercise outdoors, get some sunshine or travel to a sunny environment, spend time around trees or plants, reconnect with nature, and the last one, bring some fresh air into a stale situation or relationship. So I will leave that up to you to decide how that resonates for you. I'm also getting from this, also a sense of playfulness and, adding something that brings vibrancy to your life. Notice all that green grass and just something that, it just can be nice to go outside, right? And like go to a park. If you never go to a park, like go to a park and just do something that maybe you haven't done in a while. That could be really good as well. There was a second card here. I don't know if this was, okay. I don't know if this was meant to come out or not, but I put it to the side just in case. So I'll just show it to you anyway. Shower of abundance. To heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning money. We will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept abundance. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. So anyway, there is that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on. So feel free to let me know if that resonates with you. I would love to know. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next book. And if there's anybody else here watching that would like me to pull a card for them, just type that you would like that down in the comments. And I will do that at the end of this next reading. next book reading. Okay. Moving on to Soul Love, Awakening Your Heart Centers by Sanaya Roman. So this book, oh, how funny. Sorry, just noticed something. So I think I'll share it. I guess I'm supposed to share it. So in this book, I had, I actually have a few. Okay, so I don't know. I couldn't see it until I opened it. I actually have a card in here, and I have a few different, place markers. And I was opening up the book, and I didn't realize this earlier, but there's a postcard in here that I had written on that was going to be one of those like postcards with a positive note that you abandon somewhere for someone to find and pick up one day. And I obviously never abandoned it anywhere, so it's still here in my book. And the postcard says, okay, so that's the postcard. It says, "To whomever finds this, yes, you are loved. Be patient with yourself and others and have a blessed day." And it's dated April of 2014. And the back of the postcard is Little Love Letter Campaign, and the front of it says, "Love generously, speak kindly, care deeply." So I must segue and just share for a moment now. What's so interesting about this, of course, there may absolutely be a message in this for those who are with me live right now. But the other really awesome thing is that earlier this year, me and another person co-authored this book together called "You Are Loved." And it's interesting because I actually felt that this was going to come up in today's video. So very, very interesting. And if you would like to purchase your copy of this book, you can actually save a few dollars by purchasing directly through me. And you can do that by literally just sending me a message. I know I've got it on my website, but it's a really wonderful book. It's an inspired meditative visual journey with pictures of the Florida Keys, and it's paired up with a guided written meditation that I wrote. And it's more of an experiential book. So it's more of a visual experience. It's very beautiful. So, okay, I'm going to move on. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's see if I'm unclear. Gabby, I think yes, you're on to something there. Absolutely. So, okay, Soul Love. And when I opened up to this earlier, it was at page 117. And so 117 is under the section of Connect with the Universal Presence of Love. I'm going to read quite a bit here. I was debating how much I was going to read, but I'm just going to read like a few paragraphs because they all link together, okay? As you awaken your heart centers, even think about this with someone that you might like to connect with on a deeper level. This is kind of what I was going to say to you earlier, Gabby. So even if you're not speaking to someone, if you'd like to just connect with them, coming from an aligned space, from your higher self that wants only the best for you and everybody else in your life, you can connect with someone from your heart center, through your thought, visualizing, and I'll just leave it at that. But just imagine this beam of light coming down through the top of your head, down to your heart, and beaming out towards the other person, and see them in their highest, most vibrational space. And, you can try to connect with them through your hearts. And at the same time, notice, you may get a sense of how open is that person's heart or not open. But that is something you can do. So I wanted to share that, and so that you have that as context as I read this part of the book. As you awaken your heart centers, you become more aware of the universal presence of love, also called the universal ocean of love. Once you sense it as you circulate energy between your heart centers, you will be able to recognize its presence simply by thinking of it. Look out through your window or scan the area all around you. Imagine that with your inner eyes, you can see a field of love, a living presence of love that moves in and through everything, including objects, people, plants, and animals. This field of love is an aspect of God, Goddess, oneness, source, and the all that is. It can be seen as a field of vibrating light. It can be felt as pure love. This field of love contains all the qualities of soul love and qualities of love that are even higher. It accepts and allows. It amplifies and harmonizes. It is transparent, steady, consistent, and enduring. It makes all energies more beautiful. It expands, unifies, and connects. Take a moment to pause and sense this enormous presence of love that permeates everything. Sense its aliveness, its awareness, and its love. You may have wondered, is the universe friendly? Is it for or against me? Know that the universe is absolutely and unconditionally for you. The universal presence of love is always present, working for you and your higher good. This is the divine substance of love that is the essence of the universe. Circulate light among your heart centers and merge with this presence of love. Let it embrace and enfold you. It is ceaselessly moving you toward the experiences and relationships that will open your heart. It is continually working for you. And so I'll stop there now. But yeah, you might even, if you really felt a resonance with what I was just reading there, you might want to replay this back and just close your eyes as you listen to what I was just reading. There's a lot of power in that. I have, one of my certifications, I'm a certified Reiki Master Practitioner, and there was a time when things weren't going so well between me and one of my sisters, and it was very sad and heartbreaking for me, and I just wanted to send her a message of love. And so I essentially did this. Connected with her on a heart soul level, and was just sending loving Reiki energy her way. And it was amazing. I feel like this should have a disclaimer. Results are not typical. Okay. But the power of love when someone is open is amazing, because what had happened is within minutes, I think she sent me a text message, and we were able to start to get back on track with our connection, our relationship. So just something to keep in mind that you can try. And I'm not saying necessarily that will be your results, but and there's been another time when I've done it with someone and actually gotten a sense that they are not open to receiving any love or positive energy from me. And that was a message to me, like, okay, good to know, they're not receptive to it, and they have every right to be, right? We all go through our different situations and things in life, and we have every right to be open, to be closed, whatever, to whoever and whatever situations. And, the best we can do if we want to continue a relationship with somebody is to just hold that space open, if that's healthy for you. So I'm not trying to say, continue to wait for someone to come back, because that may not ever happen too. So it's, this is something that definitely could be a bigger conversation. But anyway, I'm just saying the things that are coming up for me that I think are relevant right now. So let's go ahead and pull a card for this reading. And I think we'll go ahead and pull from, I'm going to pull a postcard from Spirit. I'm going to pull a postcard from Spirit here. Okay. And then Lillian, I'll pull you a card as well after we're done with cards for the reading. Okay, what message wants to come through for everybody who's viewing today's reading video? Okay, I have to pull one. Okay, here we go. What does this say? Oh, well, how fitting. So the very bottom of it says, you are loved. Yep, you are loved. Okay, so dearest you, we here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. We don't necessarily need romantic or erotic love, although they are wonderful, but something above and beyond that. Everything alive in the world was first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and birth it into existence. Love is without conditions, and it is based in reverence and a fierce and joyful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as other, separate from, better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow as it will. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you always and forever. We just adore you over here. So, how fitting is that? Oh, my goodness, my goodness. Okay. Let me know if you also, notice the synchronicity with the messages of the cards and the book readings. I get such a thrill out of it. Let me see if there's another card that wants to be pulled for these books. Yes, I think there is. We're going to also pull a self-care card as an extension of the soul love reading. And thanks for liking this video. I really, really appreciate that. Okay. Okay. What message wants to come through for everybody who views today's video? Okay. Ooh. So, I don't think we've gotten this one. Anyway, recently. Reflect. And the back says, keep your eyes open. Joy lives in small places. Oh, nice. Reflect. Keep your eyes open. Joy lives in small places. It's interesting, even when we're having those, those times. I had an exchange with someone else earlier who's going through a rough time, and it's really easy to miss those things that can get us back on track and feeling a sense of joy and love and inner peace when we are so encompassed by sadness or grief or frustration or anger or anything that's feels like it's weighing us down. And yet, even in the space of that anger, that grief, that frustration, if we can make time to just get quiet with ourselves and even just send ourselves love and appreciation for being able to allow ourselves to feel those lower vibrational emotions, because no emotions are bad. They're all informational. And we also do ourselves a disservice when we keep trying to shut off and stop those emotions. So it's a good thing if you're allowing yourself to feel the emotion. And I think it's an even better thing if you allow yourself to feel the emotion also with the deliberate conscious intent to know that it's going to move through you and out and be transformed, be transmuted into something of a more neutral or higher vibrational state, because you are not meant to keep that low vibrational energy and emotion in you, So if you can find a way just all on your own to bring in a sense of love and appreciation for your ability to be able to just be present with yourself, feeling that emotion, and know that even in that there is some sense of I feel like this sounds so just a little out there, but to find a sense of some form of appreciation for that moment and maybe the space that you are being given to experience it. If that, take it or leave it. If that doesn't resonate with you, then leave it. But there's something to be said for finding appreciation for those times in life that we don't necessarily enjoy, and infusing them with love on our own, because we have the ability to do that. And so even that can sort of soften the experience of the unpleasantness that we're also experiencing. I hope that makes sense. So awesome, Gabby. Yay. Good. I'm so glad these are resonating for you. So, okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for Lillian. And I think we're still going to wrap up with one final card because I love this so much. So Lillian, let's pull a card for you. And Lillian, I'm going to pull an angel card for you from my other angel deck. So this is my other angel deck. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Well, I just quickly shuffle. Okay, what message wants to come through for Lillian right now? Ooh, gosh dang it. Okay, so the card is on the ground, but I have the booklet and I can see what card it is. It's Archangel Uriel. So I'm going to open up to Archangel Uriel and read about it. And this will give us all of the message. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, that's weird. Okay, Archangel Uriel. The card says, so this is what's written on the actual card. Your emotions are healing, which enables you to open up to greater love. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. Oh, that's beautiful. And I know this is super hard to see, but I'm still going to just give it a shot. So that is Archangel Uriel. That's what the card looks like. I know it's super small. Okay, the added message to it is, I am called the psychologist angel because I help to heal toxins from people's thoughts and emotions. I am especially able to release stubborn anger and unforgiveness. I am with you right now to clear away such toxins. I would also like to work with you to help others clear away their emotional and psychological blocks. My healing work is subtle. I never force it on anyone. Like you, I believe that it is best to wait until someone approaches me and directly requests guidance or assistance. Then I simply and lovingly ask them to be willing to release toxins from their mind and heart. If they are willing to do so, then the release will occur. In this way, the person retains their dignity and control while choosing to be clear of lower energies. Absolutely. So Lillian, let me know if this resonates with you in any way. I definitely just want to say this is totally affirming what I was also saying earlier. We all have that free will, and we also have, the free will, even it applies to even simply calling on the angels for them to help. Now, they are there to help, and I shared in a previous video about a friend of mine who just had a book come out called Walking with My Angels. I think that's what it's called. And so you can check that out if you want to watch that one. But there's a quote from him where he talks about, there are two things that our guardian and angel is here for. I'm trying to just remember it. So they're here to get us to our predetermined expiration date. So basically whenever we're meant to transition on. And I'm already forgetting the second one. And then the point of that is, anything beyond those two things, we have to ask. Anything beyond that, we have to ask. So I really think that's a really key point here, is that if we're wanting, angels' help or, any extra help, is like they totally honor our free will. Just like it's important for us to honor other people's free will, they honor our free will and our having this human experience. And they're ready and eager to help, though, as soon as we say, Yes, angels, please help, or God, please help, or higher self, spirit guides, universe, whatever you want to say, like the literal verbal voiced act of asking really makes a huge difference. So does it, Lillian? Okay, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And Lillian, I don't know if you know, but I do offer forgiveness coaching. So if that's something that ever interests you, that is, I think I've currently got that on my Facebook page. It's not on my website, but it's on my Facebook page. So you're welcome to reach out to me if that's something you, a process you'd like to go through. So wonderful. Let me just read Gabby's other comment. If you don't mind, can you please pull an Archangel card for me as well? If you don't have time, that's all right. Oh, so Gabby, so what I will pull an angel card for you. So this is a deck that has a variety of angels in them, and a few of the cards are archangels. So we'll see what comes through. That's what we'll do. And so let's see here. Okay, what message wants to come through for Gabby? Okay, and please help us to land right here where I can easily reach it. Oh. Okay, this one's easier for me to kind of grab, so give me 1 second. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so by the way, I have something on the side of me here that makes it harder for me to go this way. But if it's this way, it's a little easier. Okay, so Gabby, this is what came out for you. Oceana. And so she's an angel in the water. And the card says, take action. You are in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. I'll read the extended message on that for you. Oceana. Okay, here we go. Oceana. Dive right in. There's no need for more research or time. You can trust your feelings on this one. I will guide you through the actions that are necessary, considering the circumstances. Your main concern is to avoid procrastination at all costs. Break the situation down into small steps so that you don't become overwhelmed. Then take those steps in regular intervals. You already know what to do about this situation, and you have made up your mind to take action. I am here to validate that your decision is on the path of light. Although there might be some temporary hard work or emotional turmoil, this will soon be replaced by a lightness of spirit, akin to gently floating on a summer breeze. Sometimes you may feel too emotional or tired to take action. That is because you are unsure of the correctness of your decisions. Usually, unfounded guilt is the culprit that is draining your energy and happiness. This is when it's very important to call upon the angels to shore up your faith. Notice how the doors open smoothly with each step you take. That is one more sign that you're taking the best course of action. So I hope this resonated with you, Gabby. We're going to end with an inner peace card. I so appreciate you both being here live, and anybody else who happens to watch this or is already viewing it, because it doesn't always show me how many people are watching. But I appreciate you, and I'm glad to have you here. You're welcome, Gabby. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Okay, what message wants to come through as one final thought for everybody who views today's video? I think it's this one. There might be two then. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Got it. Okay, so this one says, okay, so it's got this really nice image. It says, I am patient and kind. No, I'm sorry. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Hold on. It says, I am patient and loving with my fearful thoughts. I am patient and loving with my fearful thoughts. And the back says, be patient and loving with every fearful thought. Practice observing your fears as a witness, and you'll see them dissolve. This totally speaks to the very first reading we did about emotional set point, about being able to switch the way you feel or think about something in the moment. And getting into that observer state really helps with that. That's the backside. And this other one, I'm not sure, but let's see. I create the world that I live in. And the back says, no one can create negativity or stress within you. Only you can do that by virtue of how you process your world. I have some added thoughts on that, but I'm not going to go there right now. So actually, I'm just going to say this. Boundaries really come into play here. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. So, okay, thank you for everybody that was here live, to Gabby and Lillian, and to anybody else who happens to watch this live or on the replay. Please let me know what you're taking away from the video. And this also concludes my 30 days in August. I know there were a few days that I skipped and then I kind of doubled up, on different days, but I enjoyed every minute of it, and I can see myself doing more of these, but they won't necessarily be, back to back every day or anything like that. If you would like to connect with me beyond this, you can certainly go to the Every Day is a New Day Facebook group on Facebook, and I'm doing our very first. So I host a podcast called the Every Day is a New Day show. And this Wednesday's episode, we're doing a new format that's going to be live on Zoom. And everybody's welcome to participate and join. And it's all about raising your vibration and connection and interacting. And then I have an awesome guest that's going to be talking about manifesting money. So if you want to participate in that, then definitely go to the Every Day is a New Day group on Facebook. And as soon as this is done here, I'm going to also get the link for the actual video, the registration link to sign up. Of course, it's free to attend, but you need to register. And that's that. So good being here with you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you another time. Okay, bye. Give me a second here.